Good morning, Honorable Chairman. My name is Amishadai Owusu Amwa, the Commissioner General. I have with me the other three commissioners, so they will also introduce themselves. We'll start from the Commissioner for Customs.
Mr. Chairman, I'm Seydi Drisu, Commissioner Customs. Mr. Chairman, my name is Edward Apinti Jamra, in charge of Domestic Tax Revenue Division.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. I'm Julie Essiem, Commissioner, Support Services.
All right, thank you very much for coming. You have a number of issues, not as much as before.
Before, I just wanted to say thank you to the committee and the audit service, because consistently our appearance here has seen a huge reduction in the infraction of GR in the systems that we have put in place.
You like taking credit, pal.
No, Mr. Chairman, like I said to you, that the committee and audit service and also the systems that we have put in place, because you keep on helping us to see how best we can reduce the leakages in the tax management system, so that we can rake in the needed revenue for the country. And so for that, we are grateful. We know that we need to do more than what we are doing. But with the support of all stakeholders here, I know that there will come a time that clearly the infractions will be reduced to the barest minimum. So thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
All right. I hope that as the number of infractions have reduced, the quantum also reduced. You can have few, but the quantum could be high. So I hope. That is what I said. I haven't done the competition. That is what I said. I hope. So you leave it. You leave it. Let's leave it.
Thank you. Chairman, the infractions are here, so maybe we can go to the infractions and not listen to
leave that one to us. Leave that one to us. All right, let's start with the first one, paragraph 114. Honorable Kofi Adams.
Chairman, thank you very much. Reverend Amishadai, you are welcome.
Thank you very much, Honorable.
Commissioner, Domestic Tax Revenue Division, the auditors asked that you see to recovery of some outstanding taxes due the state. The amount involved here is 161,665,805 Ghana cedi, 36 pesos, and the taxpayers involved is 5,692. What has happened to these monies? Have you been able to retrieve all?
Thank you very much, Honorable Member, Chairman. The Commissioner Domestic will answer the question.
Mr. Chair, thank you very much. Mr. Chair, the issue at stake, we have the dollar component, which is 44,816. That has been fully recovered. Now, the CD component, Mr. Chairman, we've recovered 76.4% of that. And the breakdown of the 76.4 is as follows. We've done a full recovery of 97,651,172.4. Objection determined 9335484, and returns filed and examined 14,905,665.55. So currently we have outstanding of 39 39,773. Honorable Chair, out of this 39,773, we have amount which is owed by defunct financial institutions to the tune of 921825.61. And I've given the list of the defunct financial institutions that are currently owing us. Mr. Chair, let me say that we have written to the receiver to pay us this money, as we have the first right if the receiver get any money from these companies. And we are yet to receive from the receiver. With the closing balance, Mr. Chairman, of about 30.4 million, we're doing a number of enforcement actions, which include third-party data notices, seal-off. We're doing garnishment and others to ensure that we retrieve this money to the state. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. I wish you had mentioned the amount the way we can easily appreciate, but we can carry on. You indicated that you wrote to the receiver. Please, when was this done?
Mr. Chair, thank you very much. Mr. Chair, for the receiver, these liabilities started way back 2021. We've been written several letters to the receiver, but the recent one was done in January 2024. Thank you. That was the reminder. Thank you.
So can we get the first and the recent one that you just did? Can you submit the very first and the most recent to the committee?
Honorable, yes, we can produce that for you.
I only would want to encourage you to push further, because we really have a lot that we can already collect, and when we see evidence like this, then it gives indication that we don't need to be adding new taxes, because there's so much that we can collect from the already existing ones. Chairman, I think that should be all for them. But I've requested for some documents, the first and the last letter to the receivers, to help us.
All right, so it means that the cost of the decision to the banking sector cleanup, there's a cost to it. It's even affecting the government itself. That is why the defunct bank cannot pay their taxes to government. Honorable Deputy Minister, will you agree with me that the decision to clean the banks has a cost to us also? Apart from what the Minister of Finance will come and tell Parliament, we spend this amount of money. The revenue inflow, which is not coming, is also cost to us. Do you agree with me?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, there are two things here. The fact that government was able to save depositors' money.
You can answer my question, then you add up with your...
Yeah, that's because you see that as a cost. But for the depositors who had their monies in there, they needed to get their money, so government had to intervene. In everything that we do here, it comes with a cost.
Okay, you have answered my question.
But
that there is a cost to what we have done. There is a cost.
Our citizens better. Then you take that bold
Who
decision.
told you that those of us who had money there were not getting our money? Who told you?
Me.
Mr. Chairman, respectfully,
That's I was getting my money.
Mr. Chairman, respectfully, we have colleagues here
You have not been paid.
who had their money
Honorable
there.
Abina,
Yes.
Honorable Abina.
Yes.
Honorable Dr. Isaac Opoku.
Yes.
You just said that the deposited money, which have been...
I said needed to be protected, Mr. Chairman.
Protect-
You know, not all the banks
not
have
received
received
his
their
money.
money because some are
He
in
still
court.
hasn't received his money.
Mr. Chairman, because
He's a
some
depositor.
of
He hasn't
the
received his
banks
money.
have taken government to court, and we all know this is a house of laws.
Paragraph
And when
117,
matters are
Honorable
in
Yusuf.
court, you cannot talk about it, Mr. Chairman. So, respectfully, that is the situation. Thank
Chairman,
you.
let me seek permission and congratulate Abina. You've done very well. I know what you went through. I mean, knowing your interests and the kind of ambush that they wanted to take you through. I congratulate you. Yes. And then to my former boss, Reverend Dr. You're welcome. I work with him at Unibank. Yes, so the infraction here has to do with outstanding pay as you earn, and here it relates to an amount of 157,645,582 Ghana cedi, and then in dollar terms, there's another figure which is 2,509,578. By law, employers are supposed to withhold this money and remit same to GRA. But for the year 2021, some people failed to remit this money to GRA. And so auditors are asking you to retrieve the said amount that I've mentioned. How far with the retrieval of these monies?
Thank you, Honorable Member, and thanks also for welcoming me. The Commissioner Domestic will take this question. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, the dollar component has been recovered fully. And for the CD component, Mr. Chair, let me say that as I have always been explaining to this House, the business we do has to do with assessment, collection, and collection. And with the collection, we always have tax debts. But what is important is how do we enforce this tax debt? How are we pursuing the tax debt for the state? So for us to have no tax debt in any calendar year is not going to happen anyway. So I would just want to put this on record because you have instances where taxpayers may have cash flow challenges. And when there's cash flow challenges, what do you do? So tax debt is part of the business that we do as Revenue Authority. And I think, Mr. Chairman, you are much aware of this. So on the substantive issue, as I said, the dollar component has been recovered. With the CD component, Mr. Chair, we've resolved 81.56% of that. The outstanding one, again, which is 29 million, we have 19.6 out of the 29 million relating to 17 of the defunct financial institutions. So for them, again, it's the same process that we are taking to recover that. The receiver has been written to and expecting that when they recover money from these institutions, GRA should be paid first. Now for the outstanding ones, we're using our enforcement tools to ensure that we recover them. And I've already mentioned the enforcement tools that we deploy to enforce tax collection. Thank you, Chairman.
Yeah, so you say that the dollar component has been retrieved.
Has been recovered.
Has been recovered,
Yeah,
whatever
yes, sir.
terminology you want to use.
Yeah.
Now, the recommendation is that you do that together with the appropriate penalties under Section 71 of the Revenue Administration Act. And I've just cross-checked the act. And the 71 suggests that it should come with interest. Are you saying that the dollar component that you say you have recovered comes with some interest?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, the 71 you quoted is very, very clear in the Revenue Administration Act. Once tax is owed and you are to pay to the state, you pay with interest. So we recover all tax debt with interest unless there is a dispensation to waive interest, just as we had from 2020 to 2022.
So the answer is that you recover with interest?
Yes, we recover with interest. Thank you.
Yeah, so the...
Okay. So if I can add, as we progress, you will find other areas that where interest was waived, we will indicate it clearly that interest was waived in line with the what was passed by Parliament, the dispensation.
It also suggests that the 81.5% that you have recovered also came with interest. Is that the case?
Mr. Chair, yes, please.
Now, you indicated that out of the 29 million, 19 is also attributed to the defunct banks. Then it means that we have some 10 million left. When do you intend to, or when are you likely to recover this? Any timelines?
Mr. Chair, as I indicated, we're using our enforcement tools to collect them. These are overdue debt, so we do garnishment, we do tax third-party recovery. So the process is ongoing. Now is ongoing. We can't give you updated recovery as and when we recover from that.
My last point is that one of the principles of taxation by Adam Smith is that there should be economy. Now, the amount of money you are using, the task forces that you are using to recover this money, have you juxtaposed that against the outstanding balance? Thank you.
Mr. Chair, yes. I think in all the work that we do, and GRA is giving a percentage to do our work, and that amount is what is used in dealing with all the work that we do, including collection of tax debts. Thank you.
I said my last one, but this is the very last one. And that has to do with, you said you use tools like garnishing of... and what circumstances will you do this? Because just recently, my district assembly account was garnished. And it was very, very difficult for us to transact business there.
What was the garnishment?
Yeah, by GRA. By GRA.
Yes. So, Mr. Chair, for anyone, any person, if you are owing GRA, you are expected to pay. If you find out that you are not paying, but you have someone who is keeping money for you, we can now write to that person to order the person to pay the money directly to Ghana Revenue Authority. So in this particular case, your district assembly may be owing Ghana.
That's the Bullet District Assembly?
Yes.
To be specific.
So if the district assembly is owing the Ghana Revenue Authority, the Commissioner General has the power to write to the bank that your assembly is having account to pay any money that is in it to the Commissioner General to defray the tax debt. That is the power that Commissioner General has.
So assuming the office of the president owes tax, is the GRA able to use same process to garnish the accounts?
Irrespective of the person, we use the same tools to recover.
We are watching.
Well, auditors, can you confirm what the commissioner said?
Honorable Chair, as indicated, the dollar component has been fully recovered. Then with the CD component, an amount of 126.4 million recovered. The objection determined is 1.8 million. Then we have the returns filed and determined 283,000. So the balance left is 29 million as they indicated.
Okay, thank you. Paragraph 120, Honorable Aka.
No. Thank you very much, Chairman. Paragraph 120. 820 companies failed to withhold taxes amounting to 96 million. And the details are there. I would like to know if you have been able to collect these taxes. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, thank you very much. Mr. Chair, out of the amounts, what has been, we've resolved 61.1% of that. And that has to do with what we have recovered, objection determined, and penalties and interest waived. The outstanding we have currently is 37.4 million. Mr. Chair, out of this 37.4 million, 23 is owed by Millicom. And in the case of Millicom, they disputed. We took the matter to court. Court ruled in our favor. They have also appealed. And the matter is currently before court, and we're waiting for a determination by the court on the 2nd of February. And that is 23.8 million out of the 37. 7.7 of this amount is also owed by 19 defined financial institutions. And Mr. Chair, I've explained that one. The outstanding balance, Mr. Chair, we're using the same enforcement tools to recover. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You're saying that Millicom owes about 37.4 million. Is that correct?
23, Mr. Chair.
23.
Yes, sir.
And then court ruled in your favor. Have they taken the matter back to court?
Yes. They've appealed. And we are waiting for the court to make a determination on the 2nd of February, which is this week.
All right. Auditors, can you please confirm all the figures that they've quoted? Thank you.
Honorable Chair, we can confirm that the assertion is accurate.
Thank you, Chairman.
Yeah, so kindly share the outcome of the court ruling. That comes 2nd February. That's coming this Friday. Kindly share the outcome with us so that we'll know if you'll be recovering that 23 million from the company.
Mr. Chair, noted. We'll do that.
Paragraph 123. Honorable Chinia.
Thank you, Honorable Chairman. The auditors reviewed traders' files. The number of traders involved is 2,557, and in about 18 of your tax offices, and observed that some outstanding amount of 377,319.69 Ghana cedis was owed by these 2,557 traders. The auditors have recommended that the Domestic Tax Revenue Division should ensure that the head of the various centers, that means the 18 centers, recovers these monies. Has that been done? Have you recovered the money?
Mr. Chairman, partly. We've recovered, we've resolved 60, we've recovered 60.6 million. An objection determined 25.1, penalties and interest waived, and return files determined. And we have outstanding of 275.4 million. Mr. Chair, out of this 275 million, 246 are being contested. 247.7 is being contested by 3 companies. Millicom, I've mentioned the earlier one, Federated Commodities, and PBC. Mr. Chair, in respect of Federated Commodity and PBC, it has to do with VAT on haulage of cocoa, which they are contesting in court. So we're waiting for the determination of the court, and the court has adjourned to 26th of February. And when it's determined that they are liable to pay, we will enforce collection. So that is the situation of the 247.7 million that is owed by these 3 companies. Mr. Chair, the outstanding balance of 27.6 million, we're employing the same enforcement tools to collect them. Thank you.
Auditors, can you confirm the narration he has just given?
Honorable Chair, as indicated, the amount recovered is 60.6 million. The objection determined is 25.1 million. Penalties and interest waived is 380,000. Then we have returns filed and determined is 13,000. So the outstanding is 275,443,368.13.
But he says that part of that outstanding amount is being contested. Has that been brought to your notice?
Yes.
Okay. Chairman, thank you.
Why are these companies contesting this? Because for this particular year, there are a lot of issues being contested in court. Is there any reason for that?
Mr. Chair, it is their right.
No, I know it's their right.
Yeah.
Comparing the number of cases you have in court now with the past, I'm saying that now the amount being contested is so huge. Is there any reason why that you're having these cases in court?
Mr. Chair, as to the reason why we are having the cases in court, I think that will, the taxpayers will have to explain. But for us, we think we are right in raising this assessment, and we have the law on our side. But as I indicated, taxpayers have the right also to challenge the Commissioner General's position. So if they feel that the interpretation that has been given by the Commissioner General is not as per the law, okay, taxpayers have the right to challenge. And once they go to court, we leave that one for the court to decide.
So, per your assessment, are you hopeful that the case will go in your favor?
Mr. Chair.
Are you hopeful?
Yeah, very, very, very. We are hopeful that we're going to win this case.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ranking.
Thank you, Chairman. This 247 million, how many companies are involved?
Mr. Chair, 3.
3. And
I think I mentioned them. So for your information, this is in court, so I can mention the names. Millicom Ghana for the VAT 12.9, Federated Commodity 30.8, and PBC, Produced Buying Company, 203.9 million, making up the 247.
So, are they contesting, for instance, PVC? Are they contesting the whole amount or portions of it?
Mr. Chair, they are contesting the whole amount. I think it has to do with the interpretation of a provision.
Okay.
For PVC and federated commodity, it has to do with whether they are liable to pay VAT on haulage.
Okay.
That is what they are contesting. They are of the view that they are not liable, but we think that they are also providing service, and as a result, they are required to charge VAT on the service.
Okay, thank you.
This is the main issue that is being contested. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Have you told their vehicles from the PVC? I saw some picture on the social media that some of their vehicles are being towed. Is that GRA towing their vehicles?
Mr. Chair, no.
Okay.
Our matter is in court.
Okay.
So we are not enforcing any.
Then there is another creditor who is pray that after the determination of the case, you have some of the assets left to fall on. Honorable Isaac.
Thank you, Chairman. Chairman, I wanted to find out, this is 2021, 22, yes. I want to find out, in the past, were you charging VAT on haulage?
I think we should leave that one to the courts. Those are the arguments they will make in courts. Paragraph 126, Honorable Ajay Botin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Paragraph 126 has to do with outstanding rent tax amounting to 472,582. And these were in respect of 157 properties. And 10 tax offices were not able to collect those monies. So the auditors recommended that the Commissioner Domestic Tax Revenue Division was to ensure that the amounts were pursued and collected together with the appropriate penalties. So can we be told whether those monies have been covered?
Mr. Chair, 68.37% of the issue has been resolved. And it has been resolved in this way. Recovery 242 and returns filed and determined 80.1. The outstanding amount is 149.4 million. Mr. Chair, out of this amount, some of them we're going to reverse it for a simple reason that these properties are no longer rented. They are now owner occupied. So we are reviewing it to determine the assessment. The remaining 59.8, we are employing the same tools to recover the outstanding liability. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Auditors, can you confirm what you've said for us?
Honorable Chair, the amount recovered is 242,979. The returns filed and determined is 80,000, and then the outstanding balance is 149,000.
That'll be all for me.
Next one, paragraph 129, Honorable Adumako Kisi.
Thank you, Chairman. This has to do with outstanding return checks, amount totaling 4,386,570 Ghana cedis. And there's a list of 13 entities that had their checks returned. Please, what's the status on this?
Mr. Chair, thank you very much. Mr. Chair, what we do is that when checks are returned, we restate the liability. So the liability is restored and use the collection to enforce it. Mr. Chair, let me say that for this outstanding return checks, we've been able to recover 3.4 million out of the 4.3, an outstanding of which translate to 77.3%. We have an outstanding 940,000. Mr. Chair, let me say that return checks used to be one of the challenges that we were facing as authority. And since July 2021, when the cashless policy was introduced, this is no longer in existence. What we're discussing here has to do with the period before the introduction of the cashless policy. So as we speak now, when we do an audit going forward, we are not expecting any return checks in January again, thanks to the cashless policy that we have. Thank you very much.
All right, next one, paragraph 132. Unpaid communication service tax, 2.448 million Ghana cedis. So one, that is Sweet Melodies FM Limited and Kenneth O communication service tax to the tune of 2.2 million for Sweet Melodies FM and 200,000 for Kenneth. You are to recover the money from them with appropriate penalties under Section 71 of the Revenue Administration Act. Have we been able to do so?
Mr. Chairman, can I first, before I respond, let me correct some anomaly here. 71 deals with interest. So interest on overdue. So I think it's a typo here. It should read.
Well, if 71 deal with interest on overdue,
yeah,
these amounts are also overdue.
Mr. Chair, so we collect the debt with interest. The one relating to KNet is fully recovered. Now, the Sweet Melody FM is contesting the assessment that we raised regarding assessment on communication service tax. So currently, the authority is engaging the Ghana Independent Broadcasting Association to address the issue. It has to do with the interpretation of the CST Act as to whether they are reliable or not. So a team has been set up and we are reviewing it to see whether they are reliable or not. When a determination is made, then we will enforce the liability. Thank you, Chair.
So how come the auditors are saying that they are responsible?
Mr. Chair, I think the audit raised the assessment our audit raised the assessment. Then the taxpayer objected that per their interpretation of the CST Act, they are not reliable. And that is the bone of contention now, which we're trying to determine whether...
But you also have lawyers who interpret the law at GRA. What did the lawyers tell you?
Yeah, we are in sync with the lawyers, and
you didn't answer my question. What did the lawyers tell you? Are they?
They have the view that we are right.
You are right. Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Did you earlier said KNet has paid?
Mr. Chair, yes.
So, is a sweet melody that is contesting?
Yes. Yeah. They are contesting aspect of, for them, they think that they're free to air. They are not part of companies liable to pay the communication service tax. But for the for the other company, KNet, they've accepted the liability and paid.
All right. So, when will that committee finish work?
Mr. Chair, by the 15th of February, we should be able to deal with this issue.
Is that the deadline you're giving them, the committee?
Yes.
Are you sure you have given the committee a deadline?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Are you sure you have given the committee a deadline?
Yes.
Who are the members of the committee?
If the chair is here, Mr. Daniel DC is the chairman of the committee dealing with the CST issue. So you can. If you
Well,
want
I wouldn't want to push you further. So, all right. So let's move to paragraph 135. Honorable Sophia.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Paragraph 135 has to do with outstanding national fiscal stabilization levy. The auditors are saying that they noted that an amount of 693,275.75 has not been paid. And the names of the company are Ascent Financial Services Limited, All Time Finance Limited, CBL Investment Service Limited, CDA Savings and Loans Company Limited, Legacy Capital Savings and Loans, Midland Savings and Loans Limited. And all this amounted to 693,275.75. The auditors recommend that the Commissioner DTRD should recover the outstanding amount from the financial institutions together with appropriate penalties under Section 71 of the Revenue Administration Act. What do you have to tell the committee on this? Have they recovered the money?
Mr. Chairman, we've not been able to resolve this. As this liability relates to defunct financial institutions. So all the financial institutions that you mentioned are part of the distress financial. So what we've done is also giving letter to the receiver to pay this liability if money is recovered for them.
But have you been following from the receivers?
Yes.
And what is the response from the receivers?
Mr. Chair, as I indicated earlier, we've written number of letters, and the last reminder was sent on the 16th of January 2024. So
how long was the last letter sent to them?
How long? The recent one was 16th January.
16th January?
Yes, please.
Just recently?
Yes. I think Honorable has requested for copies, so we'll give you copies. It has to do with all the liabilities that they are owing.
Do you have the copies here?
Yes. Here, no, but we can give the committee a copy.
Chairman, I think I'll leave this one for you too. Oh.
Paragraph 138. The auditors noted that during the audit of debtors' record of Ghana Revenue Authority at Swami Tax Service Center, 13 companies and individuals owe the state an amount of 837,872 Ghana cedis in respect of corporate income taxes Now, the auditors have recommended that the Commissioner Domestic Tax Revenue Division should ensure that the head of the tax center recovers the amount from the companies and the individuals, and then also apply the sanction under Section 71 of the Revenue Act. Can you update the committee if you were able to recover the amount?
Mr. Chair, thank you very much. Mr. Chair, as we speak, 99.4% of the issue has been resolved. We've recovered 488.1 million, objection determined 122, and penalty and interest waived 232. The outstanding balance currently is 5,052.
Can you give me the figure again? You recover how much?
488.1. Objection determined 112.
488.
Yeah, honorable, yes.
Okay, 488.
1.
Objection
determined 112.1. Penalties and interest waived 232.5.
Okay.
So we have outstanding amount payable of 5,052 Ghana cedi. Honorable, we are also employing the relevant enforcement action to collect the outstanding liability of 5,000. Thank you.
All right, auditors, can you confirm this?
Your Honorable Chair, we can confirm the figures that he has mentioned.
All right, let's go to paragraph 141. Honorable Dakwa.
Thank you, Chairman. So paragraph 141 has to do with outstanding tax liabilities, and the Auditor General noted that 43 companies and individuals owed the state taxes amounting to 6.5 million Ghana cedis. And this is in respect of corporate and income taxes for the period January 2010 to May 2022. The auditor recommended that the Commissioner DTRD should ensure that the head of the tax center recovers the outstanding amounts. Has this been done, please?
Mr. Chair, 74.61% of the issue resolved, and it's resolved as follows: recoveries 3.2, objection determined 276, penalty and interest waived 1.1 million. We currently have outstanding liability of 1.88. Mr. Chair, we're using the same enforcement tools to recover the outstanding balance. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Chairman.
Auditors, can you confirm?
Honorable Chair, confirmed.
Okay, paragraph 143. Unrecovered tax arrears, 50,176. The auditors noted that 20 companies and individuals owe an amount of 50,176 at Doma Ahinkro in respect of corporates and income taxes as at 31st December 2021. The recommendation is that the Commissioner DTRD should ensure that the head of the tax center recovers the amount from the companies and the individuals and apply the sanction under Section 71. The Commissioner, can you update the committee on this?
Chairman, thank you very much. Mr. Chair, we've recovered 11,000 Ghana cedi. Objection determined 13,000, and returns filed and determined 18,000, making up 85.33% of the issue resolved. Mr. Chair, the outstanding balance of 7,362.5 relates to businesses that are folded up, and various visits to such companies indicate that they are no longer in business. So we have this is the situation of this outstanding liability, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
So, did you apply the Section 71?
Mr. Chair, as I indicated, 71 is a must once you owe, and the penalty interest is charged on the outstanding liability.
Okay, so we'll do some computation. What is the interest rate you applied?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, 71 is very clear. It talks about the Bank of Ghana rate
interest rate.
Plus.
So in this case, what was the rate that you applied?
Mr. Chair, it depends the time of...
But give me an average of what you applied.
Mr. Chair, you use the Bank of Ghana rate discount rate.
Just give me the average of the period that you did a recovery.
Okay, so I have to get the details of the recovery date. Then I'll be able to get you the interest rate that was applied.
All right, okay. You recover 11,000, right?
Yes.
Then 13,000 is what?
13,000 is in respect of objection determined. Then
objection determined.
Returns filed and determined.
So 11 plus 13.
Yeah.
Then 18,000 is what?
Returns filed and determined.
So plus 18, 18,000. That gives you 42,000 plus the outstanding 7,362. 7,362. That gives you 49,362. So if you apply the interest on what you recover, which is 11,000, I expect that the total of what we have put together should be more than the 50,176. But why is it up to only 49,000?
Mr. Chair, when we responding to this, we only respond to the principal amount that the auditors raise. But the principal amount paid is always inclusive of the interest. So if it is your decision that we report the principal plus the interest, that can be done. And in that case, it will be more than the total liability that has been stated.
So the 11,000 you reported on us recovered is only the principal.
Thank you. That is the principal.
So my question is that the total of all you have told us is only 49,000. It's not up to the 50,000. Why? All right, let's move on. Paragraph 146, Honorable Isaac Opoku. Doc.
Thank you, Chairman.
I think if you do the addition, if you add the full amount, you get a 50. So if you do...
Okay, let's do it again. 11,000.
11,374.
No, you mentioned 11,000.
No, I said 11.3.
Everybody in the hall here heard 11,000. So I wrote it down. I wrote 11,000. Then
Okay.
13,000, I wrote it. Then 18,000, I wrote it.
Okay. Actually, I was running up the numbers. So if I give you the 4 numbers, you get 50,000.
All right. Okay.
Thank you.
Paragraph 146, Honorable Isaac.
Thank you, Chairman. Chairman, Ghana Revenue Authority, Asenkregua Office, and the infraction is outstanding corporate taxes. 16 companies owned the state's corporate taxes amounting to 683,725 Ghana cedis for the 2020 and 2021 years of assessment. So we want to find out what is the updates on this tax outstanding. Have you been able to recover the amount as recommended by the auditors?
Mr. Chair, 92.12% resolved. And
92.12%
resolved. And this resolved in this way. Recoveries. So for Chairman's sake, I will call the 4 numbers now. Yes. So recoveries 327,827.29. Objection determined 302,043.92. Outstanding balance 53,853.76. Mr. Chair, the outstanding relates to businesses that have closed and not operating in the Asenkregua jurisdiction. And we've done a lot of field visits, and the field visit has confirmed that these businesses are no more in operation, and which is making recovery of this liability a big challenge. Thank you. And we've submitted evidence to the auditors. Thank you very much.
May we know which of the 16 are no longer operating?
Mr. Chair, we will produce it to you.
You don't have the
list.
The list.
I don't have it now, but I will submit it to the committee.
Okay. But just a moment. Chairman, before I hand over, company number 6, auditors, Hacks Ghana Limited, they fully discharged their tax obligation in 2021. I'm wondering why have you still captured them, in your table? Is it 2020? No, 2020, it wasn't fully discharged. But 2021, the 13,000, they paid all. So why this here? They are true, Chairman. They are 2020. They still owe 3,000. But 2021, the assessment was 13,000, and they paid all. Why have they still captured them? Just for. Oh, Chairman.
Auditors, any response?
Yeah, Honorable Chair, we have for 2020 and 2021. Now, for the 2020, there's an outstanding balance of 3,000. But when you check for 2021, all the amount has been paid. So on the outstanding column, there is no amount there, which means that the entire amount has been cleared.
His question is that 2021, they fully paid. Why did you provide that information in the report? Should have captured only 2020. Because if you watch the rest, it is only those that have some outstanding taxes that you captured. So 2021, that information is not relevant, according to him.
Mr. Chairman, we've noted it.
Okay. Honorable Apak.
Thank you, Chairman. This is just to seek clarification. You quoted some of the figures and you said objection determined. what is the implication of that? Because not everybody is savvy in your area of expertise. So what does it mean when you say objection determined?
Mr. Chair, thank you very much. I'll explain, but we thought that this terminology is known to this House. Okay.
No, but you are speaking to the whole country.
Okay.
Not only the committee members.
Okay. Okay. So, objection determined. When assessment is raised, one of the rights of the taxpayer is to accept, object, and accept or object. So when you object, we set up a committee to look at the case and see whether the assessment, your case, it has merit or not. So when a determination is made, in some instances, the determination will reduce your liability, increase your liability, or affirm the liability. So where the determination reduces your liability, then we have to reduce the assessment that has been given. So that is what we indicate here as objection determined. In this case, we have determined the objection and in favor of the taxpayer, and has reduced the liability. Thank you.
Very well.
Thank you very well. Let's go to paragraph 149, non-recovery of overdue debts. 95,754 Ghana cedis. The auditors noted that the Asankragua office failed to commence distress action on 3 companies who owed a total amount of 95,753.92 for the 2020 and 2021 years of assessment. Now, the recommendation by the auditors is that the Commissioner, DTRD, should ensure that the head of the tax office uses legal means to recover the outstanding liability together with appropriate sanction under Section 71 of the Revenue Administration Act. Commissioner, can you tell the committee if you have complied with this recommendation?
Chairman, yes, we have complied. We've recovered 28,152 out of the outstanding liability. And we have outstanding of 67.
Only speak to the mic a little bit so that we can hear you well.
Okay. Thank you, Chair. Chair, we've recovered 28,152,000 out of the 95,753 liability. And Mr. Chair, the outstanding balance, we are using our enforcement tools to collect them. This has to do with the issue relating to taxpayers in the rural areas. And it's one of the challenges that we have doing rural taxation. Some of them, in some instances, you go, the shop has been closed and so forth. So we are on it to ensure that we collect the 67,000 outstanding to the state. Thank you, Chair.
Auditors, can you confirm that some recovery has been made?
Honorable Chair, the amount recovered is 28,152.09, leaving a balance of 67,601.83.
Commissioner, what are those tools that you are using for the rural taxpayers?
Mr. Chair, for debt recovery in the rural areas, apart from the normal enforcement tools like garnishment and others, we use visitation a lot. You know, officers visit the business premises of these taxpayers to ensure whether they are operating. So, and seal off is also one of the tools that we use mainly in the rural areas, which works for us. So, mainly these are the two main ones that we use in enforcing tax debt in the rural areas. Thank you.
Do you have separate laws for the rural taxpayer?
Mr. Chair, no. I think it's one of the issues that we're considering simplification of our tax laws. So we'll deal with the informal sector and the big ones. Currently, as a country, we have only one law dealing with all sectors. And it's an issue that the ministry is taking up. I think Madam can speak to that. And we need the support of all of us to come up with the simplified tax laws to deal with the informal sector. Thank you.
All right. Honorable Deputy Minister, this is what is coming out of this committee hearing, and I think you should take note of that. The next one is paragraph 152. Uncollected taxes, 2.483 million. So the auditors say that the Kufuria Tax Office, about 230 selected taxpayer files disclose that 97 companies and 133 self-employed persons owe company income tax to the tune of 1.188 million and personal income tax of 1.294 million. Now you are to recover the money from these defaulters. Have you done so?
Mr. Chairman, we've recovered 232,166 out of the amount.
Only 232,000?
Mr. Chair, yes.
Out of 2.483 million? This one percentage is like 2 or 3%. What is the percentage? You are mentioning percentage in the previous one. This one, what is the percentage?
Mr. Chair, it's about, it's less than 10%. It's about 9.5%.
9.5?
Yeah.
132,000.
The challenge with this one, Mr. Chair, is that, as I indicated, this has to do with rural taxation. And the visit to the business operations of these businesses indicate that taxpayers that are owing about 1.7 of this liability have closed down their businesses. So, and in fact, this is Kofodia, and Kofodia stretches to Donkokrom and all the environs. So it's a rare rural tax issue, and some of these businesses, they open today, tomorrow they are not there, and that is amounting to about 1.7 out of that. The remaining one, which is enforceable is 539, which we are using our tools to collect. Mr. Chair, thank you.
So are you of the view that the 1.7 million cannot be collected because the companies have followed up?
Mr. Chair, we don't write off the debt, but we keep it in view. When the promoters of the business resurface, we enforce.
What if they resurface in a different name? With a covered face?
Thankfully, Thankfully, Mr. Chair, because of the unique identification that we are using, if you even form a different company, we will be able to identify you. So if you close your company today and form another one, because of the unique identification number, you can still be identified by the Ghana Revenue Authority. Thank you. So nobody can hide if you are owing us. You better come, own up, and come and pay.
Okay.
Because definitely you'll be caught one day.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What you say?
Chairman, some clarification. What he's saying is that even when companies close down, there is no way you write them off your books. And that in as long as, you continue to monitor. At what point do you think it will be unnecessary for you to continue to monitor? Because monitoring means you are consuming time, you are using resources. And so we should have a clear-cut decision as to when you will stop pursuing these collapsed companies. If not, it won't be economical.
Mr. Chairman, it's a very important and good question. We have actually come out with some sort of criteria, something similar to what the banks do, and we have discussed at the board meeting. We are yet to be able to table it to bring it to Parliament for a Parliament to consider, to the Ministry, and then finally to Parliament to consider, because we think that, like you rightly said, at some point we should be able to look at the sort of resources that go into it and be able to say these ones are too expensive to collect. And then one day, if something comes up, we can look at it. So there's a paper that is currently ongoing, and we will be passing it to the ministry. And if they are okay with it, we'll be presenting it to Parliament.
Will you consider factors such as the amount of the liability involved?
Yes. So we're looking at the amount. We are looking at how long it has stayed. We are looking at the situation of the taxpayer. There are a number of factors that we are taking into consideration. In fact, it's a paper that is a work in progress.
Mr. Chairman, we'll be happy with any inputs that you want to give to us in this to make it good. Thank you.
Is it at a fee or what? Or pro bono? At a fee or pro bono?
This committee has been helping us since, so I will be happy to receive any inputs from this committee.
Oh, I thought you were asking me a personal as a professional.
Yes.
So anyway,
for the love of the country.
All right. All right, paragraph 154. Honorable Sam George.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Chairman, may you live long, and a happy new year to everyone appearing before us. Paragraph 154 and 155 deals with breaches of Section 71 as well, where 82 companies had unpaid corporate tax amounting to 329,384 Ghana cedis, 45 Ghana pesos, for the 2021 year of assessment in the Odumase Krobo district office. Strangely, there is nothing about recovery. It's just the recommendation to the commissioner. What's the current status?
Mr. Chair, thank you very much. Mr. Chair, for this one, we've recovered 262,592, and objection determined 4,572. Outstanding balance is 62,219 Ghana cedi. And Mr. Chair, from the various visits that we've done, it's confirming that these taxpayers are currently not in operation. And we, as Commissioner General indicated, is one of the challenges we're having. So when we submit the paper and we get the final approval as to how tax debt can be written off, some of these things will be considered to take them from our books. Thank you, Chair.
Chairman, in line with the previous directives, I don't think I have any further questions.
Let's move to paragraph 156, Honorable Aziz.
Thank you, Chairman. Commissioner, you have non-collection of VAT from 10 registered traders. I want to know the status of that infraction, please.
Mr. Chair, with respect to this one, if recovered for 78.9%. So when the percentage is high, I'm confident in mentioning that. So which amount to 49,844. The outstanding balance, Mr. Chair, is 13,333. Mr. Chair, we are using our tools to recover this. Also coming from one of the hardcore taxpayer centers, that is Bolgatanga. Thank you.
Commissioner, and what is the timeline in collecting the remaining balance, please?
Mr. Chair, for once a tax is due, we have processes up to about 90 days. But when the taxpayer is unable to pay within this period, we use the enforcement tools, as I mentioned. We use garnishment, trying to see whether you have money elsewhere, so we can lay our hands on. We do a seal-off to prevent you from entering your business premises as a deterrent, so that you own up and come and pay. So when we get to a position of this, that we move into the distress action, and that is what we're currently doing, using that tool to recover the outstanding liability. And in this instance, we don't have timelines, because once you put a garnishee order, you're expecting that the person will come and pay if there is money standing in favor of the taxpayer. So that is what we do. And when we do a seal-off, the seal-off, we expect that you quickly come and negotiate and pay. Or when you fail to do, then we moved into the next stage of taking charge of
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Commissioner, my last question. Have you applied the Section 71 in this recovery process?
Mr. Chair, 71 is mandatory.
Thank you.
Once
It's okay. Thank you.
Owed, you don't have any.
Commissioner, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Chairman, please continue.
All right, the next one is paragraph 159. That's the Bibiani Taxpayer Service Center. An amount of 140,441.15 Ghana cedis was not collected by GRA. Have you collected this money?
Mr. Chair, we've collected 87,034 Ghana cedi, and the return filed and determined 14,760. Mr. Chair, we have 38,641 as the outstanding balance, and we are pursuing collection.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, auditors, can you confirm these figures?
Honorable Chair, the total amount recovered is 87,034 cedis. Then returns filed and determined is 14,765.56. The outstanding balance is 38,641.53.
All right. The next one, paragraph 161. That is the Asimfosu Domestic Tax Revenue Division. So rent tax amounted to 32,199.36 personal income tax amounting to 11,675.61, giving a total of 43,875 were not collected or were outstanding in respect of 2021 and 2022 years of assessment. You are to recover this money from the defaulters. Have you?
Mr. Chair, with respect to the personal income tax, we've recovered fully. That is 11,675.61. And outstanding relating to rent tax, Mr. Chair, we've collected 9,000 out of the amount, 32. So outstanding balance is 23,116 Ghana cedi. Mr. Chair, the same tools is being used to enforce collection of the outstanding balance. Thank you.
Orators, any confirmation?
Honorable Chair, confirmed.
Paragraph 163, GRA Aguna Swedro Office. We have taxes amounting to 3,534,925, which you have not collected. So we have a total of 54,676.87 for 2021 year of assessment to cover pay as you earn, rent, corporate, and personal self-employed. Now, the auditors also noted that direct taxes of 1.919 million and indirect taxes of 1.561 million were also outstanding from defaulters who had reached agreement with the management of the tax office for the payment of these overdue taxes. Can you update the committee on how much have been recovered from the total of 3.534 million?
Mr. Chair, thank you very much. Mr. Chair, with respect to the first one, that is the 54,676. We've recovered 29,612, and with an outstanding balance of 25,000, which works up to 54.16%. Now, with the other taxes, Mr. Chair, we've recovered 1,339,835.44 Ghana cedi. Penalty and interest waived to 291,491. Outstanding 1.848. Mr. Chair, with the outstanding balance, we're using the tools. The garnishee order has been served on one of the taxpayers, and the garnishee order is still running, and that is 1.15 of the company. And the remaining one, we're using other enforcement to collect the outstanding liability.
To the tune of 327,636.68 Ghana cedis. What is the status of this amount?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I will give it to the Commissioner Customs to respond. But I want to say that this relates to some old debts. But as far as the OMC's area is concerned, we've put in a number of measures that consistently is reducing these outstandings. And so, for example, if you take 2023, the total number of OMCs that ended the year of default were 2. If If you take 2022, the total number of homes that ended the year of defaults were 3. And so our measures seems to be, is working so far. And what is outstanding is the old ones, which we are pursuing them. But I'll give it to the Commissioner, Customs, to take us to the specific ones.
Mr. Chair, there were 18 oil marketing companies that were involved with the total debt of 327.6 million. Out of this amount, a total of amount recovered of 40 million, leaving an outstanding 267.6 million. 10 of the OMCs involved had fully settled their debts, which amounted to the 60 million. That was 35.6 million, and 8 paid partially. That was 24.3 million, and making up the 60 million. Out of the 8 which are still outstanding, some of them have did some rescheduling, and they are currently paying. Those who have done the rescheduling, amount to 39.7, and there are 2. 2 others, the rescheduling is 185.1 million Ghana cedis. 3 of the companies are currently being referred. They have been referred to an investigation unit to prepare them for prosecution, while 2 others are already facing prosecution for being unable to pay. The Chairman, that is the situation.
So, sir, so that I understand, 327 million plus, how much of it have we collected and what is outstanding?
60 million has been collected, and the outstanding is 267.6 million.
So there were 260 million outstanding. What are we doing about it? That's more than we are getting from IMF. What are we doing about it?
Mr. Chair, that is why I say that some of them have rescheduled to pay. Others who have not been able to pay, we are prosecuting them to make sure that we recover from their assets.
If I can add to that, yes, as mentioned, most of them are being prosecuted for criminal prosecution. At the court, we have each of them, the ones that have agreed on some settlement agreement at the court, and the settlement agreement has been filed, and they are paying. There are about some of them which have also defaulted even the court settlement, and we are actually going to the level of asking for prison sentence if they don't honor the settlement that they have done.
Honorable Park. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The table provided by the auditors indicates names of companies. You have told this committee that some have paid. 8 have made partial payments. Another 3 are being prepared for prosecution. This is a public forum. Can you tell us the companies that have paid partially, those that have paid in full, and those that are being prepared for prosecution? It's important. There is no need for us to try and cover up for anyone. We are dealing with public resources, so the people must know.
Honorable Chair, 5 of them have made part payments. They are Galaxy Oil, Lily Gold Energy Resources, Rado Oil, P&O Energy Company, and Dept, and Zoo Petroleum Limited. They have not made any, and the liability involved is 46.9 million.
Sir, the names you mentioned are not on this list. We are talking of on paragraph 168.
There are 10 OMCs who have made full payment. So the 10 OMCs who have made full payment are Capstone Oil, Excel Oil, Penny Limited, BF Petroleum, part payment. So the 8 that have made part payment are Venus Oil, Surfing Oil, Orient Energy, Gulf Energy, Santol Energy, Golden Petroleum, Cash Flow, and Precious Energy. And as I said, as currently, even though, for example, Venus Oil has made part payment, Venus Oil is currently being prosecuted because Venus, V-E-N-U-S, because since the part payment, we have not seen the sufficient progress, and therefore they are being prosecuted. Surfing Oil, also, who has also made part payment, is also being prosecuted. Orient Energy, who also made part payment, is also being prosecuted to recover the total. These are the ones which have made part payment, but however, we are prosecuting them. And then Gulf Energy and Santol Energy, we have agreed a current rate schedule, and we are monitoring it. If they fail, we'll also begin prosecution against them. Golden Petroleum, Cash Flow, and Precious Energy, their total debt stands at 42 million, and we need some more information for the prosecution. And so our investigation department is finalizing the data for the prosecution of these ones to also commence. In the meantime, some of them like Capstone, NPA.
Thank you, Chairman.
And whether there's what do you call it, adjournment of the case, and when the next case is coming, I have a full detail that we can make available to the committee.
Auditors, could you confirm what he just said?
Honorable Chair, we can confirm that in total, 60,029,000 has been recovered, leaving a balance of 267,606,293.65. We can also confirm that the 10 entities, as they indicated, have made full payments.
Honorable Isaac.
Chairman, I think the big companies, those who are owing huge amounts, are not making any efforts to pay. Because if out of 18, 10 have fully paid the outstanding debts, as many as 10 out of 18, and even the remaining 8, they've also made part payments. And yet, the recovery is only 60 million out of 300
to provide bonds for OMCs. Today, we have done our own appraisal of the insurance companies, and today we have only 8 insurance companies. We have also done appraisal of the insurance companies, giving them limits. So we have looked at their balance sheet, and we have determined how much they can provide. Because all the rest to go to banks for guarantees. Number 2. And so currently, as I said, for 2023, for example, only 2 companies have outstandings and the total guarantees which the insurance companies have committed to pay the fail to honor. 2022, we ended up with 3 for a total of 40 million, which also have insurance companies who have valid and they are ready to pay. So we are putting mechanisms to prevent this thing from recurring. But the old, some of them that, as I mentioned, have been blocked. Some of them are also not in operation. For example, Q8 is not in operation. So some of them are not in operation. Those that are in operation, they are in operation on cash and carry basis. What I mean by cash and carry basis is that we don't grant them the credit. So you pick as per what your cash flow can allow you. And then what we do is that for every portion that you pick, a portion of it is used to reduce your indebtedness, whilst you use the other part to pay for the current one. So that's what we do currently. And again, also now we don't also allow new companies to come in and start lifting on credits. Previously, it was somebody can form a oil company today and then start lifting on credit. Now we don't do that anymore. If you form the oil company, you have to lift on cash and carry basis, and you cannot lift on credit.
Exactly my point. So I heard you spoke about custody. And so if there's a way we can get this money back, wouldn't that be preferred to pushing them to, what is it called?
At your cash flow, Mr. Chairman, fortunately, you are also a past banker. Sometimes as you engage a person, you realize that what she's talking is just so that's why I'm saying that. That's why I'm saying that for some of them where we see that there's evidence that he can do it, we allow. And then for some of them too, they have also identified properties. In fact, some of them identify very huge properties that we are also negotiating to see whether we can sell the properties to defray their current costs, and then we can allow them to resume. So there are various efforts that are going on. And as I speak, there are about 4 or 5 of them who have provided big properties that our lawyers have visited. And once they are able to do the evaluation, they will take it back to the court, and then they will table it as an offer from the oil companies.
The last item for GRA, paragraph 170, Deputy Ranking.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Paragraph 170 has to do with some 9 OMCs that failed the 21 days plus 4 days rule to settle their liabilities. I want to find out from you what has happened to the 886,355,813.51 Ghana cedis on the 53,807,950 liters of fuel products.
Mr. Chairman, this is also the 86 million. And again, the recovery is very small in terms of 3.7 million that has been recovered. Now, those who have settled in full, Goil Ghana Limited has settled their debts in full. That's about 191,000. And then there are 5 others that have made part payments of a total of about 3.5 million. Those that have made the part payments are Galaxy Oil, Lily Gold Energy Resources Limited, Rodo Oil, P&O Energy Company Limited, and Perfect Petroleum Company Limited. The 3 OMCs that have not made any payments at all are Karela Oil and Gas Company Limited, Titan Petroleum, and Zoe Petroleum. They have not made any payment of the total outstanding of 46.9 million. As I mentioned, we are prosecuting 4 of them, from these particular ones. So Karela Oil is being prosecuted, but Perfect Petroleum is being prosecuted, Titan Petroleum is also being prosecuted, as well as Zoe Oil, who is also in court. These are all in court to recover. Then the other ones, which we are getting more data, just as I mentioned the first one, for us to be able to begin the prosecution, is Galaxy Oil, Lily Gold, Energy Resources, Rodo Oil, and PO Energy. So, Chairman, so it's a similar process to the other one that I mentioned earlier on.
But while you take steps to prosecute them, what are the statuses of these companies? Are they still functional? Are they still lifting oil?
For example, if you Lily Gold, Titan Petroleum, and Zoe Petroleum are not functioning as I speak, because together with whilst we have blocked them, National Petroleum Authority have also blocked them. And so whilst we engage them, we are looking for, as I said, properties and other things like that to see. And that's why I said that if the whole thing fails, then the only option is to push them. And Mr. Chairman, I believe that 1 or 2 of such cases need to go to prison, and then thank you.
Well, I appreciate the bit about trying to punish people and taking people to prison and all of that. But Mr. Commissioner General, you agree with me that at a point in our country, we had relaxed the entire system to allow these things to go on. Because I have a bit of experience in this OMC business, lifting oil and all of that. And people were just bypassing the entire system, lifting oil without paying taxes to the states. What in your estimation accounted for this?
Thank you very much. I mentioned that we are putting a number of measures. Number one, as I mentioned, today we are saying go to banks for guarantees and not insurance companies. If you want to go to insurance companies, we have to engage with the National Insurance Commission. We have done an own appraisal of the insurance companies, and we have total number of 7 or 8 insurance companies.
Mr. Mishadai, I mean, I like the bit about the policies and programs that you have put in place. But I'm saying that whilst you are taking steps to imprison people for not paying taxes to the states, persons who work at your agency, persons who work at MPA and all of those, who allow this corruption, who allow this rot to go on, what have you done about them?
Mr. Chairman, where we find people who are connive in any way, we do also discipline them. And I can assure you that we have disciplined somebody before.
Are you saying on record that there are persons within your agency that you have disciplined based on this?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
And you are able to provide this committee with the names of such persons?
Mr. Chairman, yes, I can provide it to the
All right. Chairman, I leave this to your discretion.
Honorable Sam George.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Chairman, I indicated that I had a public interest question. I just wanted to find out from Commissioner General. Sir, which year did you attain the age of 60? CJ, I'm waiting for a response. What year did you attain the age of 60?
Isn't this personal, Chairman?
What?
I think it's too personal. No.
Chairman, if people think that this is personal, let me just remind this House and the Finance Minister, the Deputy Finance Minister, that her boss, the Finance Minister, came before the House of Parliament and informed us on behalf of His Excellency the President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, that he was no longer going to be giving contractual extensions to people above the age of 60, especially when their expertise was not scarce. Your boss, the Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta, told the House that on behalf of His Excellency the President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And so when I ask a question that which year did the Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority attain 60, it is not a personal question. He's a public servant. Thank you.
But Mr. Span, is my colleague assuming? Is he assuming that?
I haven't called you.
Oh.
I haven't called you. OPK, I haven't called you. Leave that one to me to direct.
OMC is not a personal question, please.
Honorable members, we have our laws in this country that govern us. If the Commissioner General attained the age of 60, he can be given a contract. If the member is asking a question about his age, he should just respond and say, I'm 60. So why are we arguing about this? We should not argue about this. He can say that, oh, I'm on contract. That's all. Yeah. So, Mr. Commissioner General, can you respond to the member's question?
Mr. Chairman.
Honorable members, why? Are you the one asking the question? Honorable member, why are you defending the Commissioner General?
Nobody is defending, but Mr. Chairman, respectfully, we came here to
why are you defending the Commissioner General?
This is not a public interest question.
Honorable members, I'm the one chairing this committee. I am the one chairing this committee. I have explained why I'm allowing him to respond to the question. If you're not satisfied with this, do you want to be shouting at this committee? Will that solve the problem? It won't. I'm saying that he's a public officer. We have the law that govern this country. Fortunately, if you attain the age of 60, you have the opportunity to be given a contract. If he's on contract, he will tell us, and that's solve it. What is your problem? If he's not up to 60, he will say it. What is your problem? Mr. Commissioner General, can you respond to the question? Mr. Commissioner General, we are waiting for you. Mr. Commissioner General, will you respond to the question or you will not? Mr. Commissioner General, will you respond to the question posed by the member or you will not?
Mr. Chairman, the Honorable Deputy wanted to make an intervention.
No, I'm asking you, not the Deputy Minister. If I want the Deputy Minister to come in, I'll ask her.